Part 13. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Chingjomi Se. Chapter 122. Fang also came over, carrying a large plate of freshly baked skewers, but was pulled by Zhong Wenbei and sat down. Beer and drinks clinked, everyone was laughing. Chen Shen came over with a guitar and sat across the table, just opposite Su Mo. Playing and singing? So hard, Zhou Gaikan said sarcastically, drinking some beer, he was in high spirits. Chen Shen, this scumbag, has not fallen yet, Zhou Gaikan is not happy. Chen Shen glanced at Zhou Gaikan, then looked at Su Mo and said, I was bored these days, so I wrote something casually. This song is written from the perspective of Sister Mo. You listen to it. If it works, I will make it into a song later. If not, I will just treat it as a cheer for everyone. A few words made several people stop what they were doing. What? Chen Shen wrote a song for Su Mo? This kind of program, this kind of atmosphere, it seems difficult not to make further associations. Zhou Gaikan immediately became alert and said with great energy, okay. Then I'm really looking forward to it. Brother Shen is awesome. Originally, Zhou Gaikan couldn't find a breakthrough, but Chen Shen bumped into it himself. Su Mo frowned and whispered, don't make trouble. Su Mo said don't make trouble, not because she didn't want to listen, but because this occasion was not appropriate. Chen Shen said that among the people related to Su Mo, those people should not be made to feel that Su Mo is worthless and is paying Chen Shen back. Is this important? Chen Shen thinks it is very important. The two people now have intertwined interests, and the fewer unstable factors, the better. Chen Shen smiled and ignored others. He looked at the guitar in his arms and plucked the strings. The long-lost feeling came slowly. The sound of the wooden guitar was crisp with a lingering texture, like a scroll slowly unfolding. The people filming were originally far away and scattered. I don't know who shouted in the work channel of the program group, saying that Chen Shen wrote a song for Su Mo to sing. Then the staff came from all directions. Zhao Chunsheng and the two special guests followed. Chen Shen coughed lightly and found the feeling of his throat before speaking. Love makes people sad. Love makes people more trapped. Women are really smart. Once they fall in love, they become stupid. Zhou Gaikan became excited after just 2 sentences. Not only did he write a song for Su Mo, but he also wrote about love. If you don't die, who else will die? From Zhou Gaikan's perspective, Chen Shen should not do these things to Su Mo. What do Xiaoqing Ai and Su Yuan think? Shh, Zhong Wenbei glared at him and signaled Zhou Gaikan not to make strange noises. Zhou Gaikan frowned. What's wrong? Can't even laugh? He wanted to refute, but found that everyone looked very serious, so he held back and continued to listen. Often loving someone has thousands of possibilities. And the taste may not be better than a long night of loneliness. Su Mo's mind is very complicated. After Chen Shen did this, the word partner became very important, more important than the general love between men and women. Because he put himself before Su Yuan and Xiaoqing Ai. After the second paragraph, Su Mo no longer paid attention to the emotions of the people around her. She heard that Chen Shen really put his heart into it. That day in the car, she thought Chen Shen was joking about his best friend. Now it seems that he may have really thought about it. I will not escape. I will be very serious. Then love comes knocking. The echo is really deep. I never want to be single. But I have a premonition of late marriage. Su Mo listened very seriously. Chen Shen said at the beginning that it was written from his own perspective, and the first 2 paragraphs were already very insightful. Su Mo really wanted to have a relationship. She thought about it for a long time and met some boys, but they were all similar to Fang yet. They met for dinner, and then felt that it was not suitable. When they went back, they had no impulse to date a second time. Coming to the love variety show, I found that it was still the same. The feeling is not necessarily better than a long night of loneliness. Sue Mo deeply agrees with this, so she is not in a hurry and does not choose to make do. Not loving has its own pain, and loving has its own pain. In this case, why not choose to be with someone you really love? At this moment, Sue Mo's arms unconsciously began to get goosebumps when she heard the sentence, "I never want to be single, but I have a premonition of late marriage." The kind of thing you have been thinking about for a long time, and have done for a long time, is suddenly sung by someone in the form of lyrics, as if some kind of radio waves suddenly matched. Sue Mo leaned gently against the chair behind her, her eyes moved from the piano to Chen Shen, and then forced herself to look away. "I am waiting. The only soul in the world that fits me. Let me wipe off the makeup on my face. Let him listen to all the rumors. If someone argues with me in the future." He promised not to keep silent. Can I? Can I? After singing this long paragraph, Sue Mo's mind is still the sentence, "I am waiting for the only soul in the world that fits me." The following content seemed unimportant. The goosebumps on Sue Mo's arms appeared and disappeared, and then appeared again. Her eyes changed several times, and then she sighed, Chen Shen, you may not be arranging our ending." Sue Mo took out a pair of wireless headphones from her pocket and put them on Sumian. Sumian looked over in confusion, and Sue Mo said in Sumian's ear, "Children, don't listen." Sumian said oh and didn't take the headphones she put on, but she would look at other people's expressions. Seeing that everyone seemed to be stunned, Sumian smiled, "My brother Chen Shen is amazing. Night, incandescent lights, grass-scented wind, handsome men, wooden guitars. Steady notes and lyrics full of charm. The intercom channel of the program group is already high. I got goosebumps several times. I really thought it was written casually. His voice is so stable and tasteful. It's the first time I found that Chen Go is also very handsome. Awesome, this song is really good. Are there any lyrics? I want to see the specific lyrics. I put myself in the shoes of the person. I feel like it's me. I can't stand it. It's mainly because it's too targeted. Sister Mo is the older one. I never want to be single, but I have a premonition of marrying late." This word summarizes how tasteful it is. Think about it, this is a person wrote it because of someone, it has a strong aftertaste. Woo woo woo, he really can do it? It really sounds good. I'm in the bathroom, can you give me some paper, I want to listen to. I won't escape. I'll be serious. Then love comes knocking. The echo is really deep. I never want to be single. But I have a premonition of late marriage. I'm waiting. The only soul in the world that fits the soul. Chen Shen's voice is not the popular R/U0026B accent, but the clean, clear, and steady voice, a bit like the singing style of Chen Chusheng in his previous life. Telling slowly and step by step. After singing a song, I looked up and saw that the camera of the program group was almost against my face. Almost all the staff around came over, as if they were afraid that they couldn't hear clearly. Seeing Chen Shen looking at him, the cameraman smiled embarrassedly and then slowly stepped away. Chen Shen then looked at Sue Mo, "How is it? Is it okay?" I don't know who took the lead, anyway, the applause came from the staff behind, and then passed it to one by one, full of applause. Sue Mo then looked at Chen Shen with a smile and clapped along. Chen Shen then looked at the others and looked at Xiaoqing Ai. The other party pouted and made several fist-shaking movements, then clapped and gave Chen Shen a thumbs up. This song, if you listen carefully, you can tell that it is not a confession song, but a work written from a female perspective. Xiaoqing Ai has written lyrics herself, and she knows how difficult it is to write like this. Of course, she feels sour in her heart, but she is also happy for Chen Shen. She didn't take it seriously in the afternoon, but it gave her such a big surprise. This guy is really a treasure. Is Black Gold Entertainment blind? Why did Su Mo pick up such a big bargain? When she looked at Su Yuan, she was simpler and more direct. Her unhappiness was all on her face, and her hands were clapping with the people around her. If other people laughed, they would laugh haha, but Su Yuan would laugh haha. This song is indeed not a confession song. The line "let me take off the makeup on my face" has already made it clear that the main perspective is the girl's perspective, but this shows that Chen Shen knows Su Mo well enough. Because of this song, many staff members are still looking back and forth between Chen Shen and Su Mo. They are wondering what the relationship between Chen Shen and Su Mo is. In addition to the high meaning and quality of the song, the staff are excited because of the skills Chen Shen showed. They must be happy and excited. The show has added another weight to become popular. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 123. Chen Shen looked at the staff behind him, put his hands on his hips and said, "Let's go, you guys are quite free, do you want me to grill some skewers for you?" The staff laughed and began to disperse. Brother Shen is awesome. Brother Shen, I underestimated you before. Brother Shen, come on. Many people shouted at Chen Shen when they left, and Chen Shen rolled his eyes, that's what he was afraid of. If this group of onlookers is not dismissed, if they make a fuss and set the pace, it will be difficult to deal with. Su Mo actually only listened to less than half of it, and her thoughts were confused afterwards. Now thinking back, it seems that she only remembers 2 lyrics that left a deep impression. But she had 2 conclusions in her mind, and Chen Shen did give her an explanation. When rational audiences hear this song, at most they will think that Chen Shen and Su Mo are confidants or besties. Those audiences who always want to eat sugar will also think that it was Chen Shen who hooked up with Su Mo, otherwise why write a song for her? Chen Shen put his guitar aside and sat next to Su Yuan with a thick face. Su Yuan stood up and went to the barbecue stall. Chen Shen looked at Fang Ye, who seemed to have just reacted. He touched his head and stood up, "You guys eat, I still have 2 eggplants on the fire." Su Yuan was originally sitting near the barbecue stall. When she left, Chen Shen sat in her seat, next to Su Mo. Su Mo glanced at Chen Shen and whispered, "Don't pretend, don't you go to comfort her." Chen Shen straightened his chest, "Comfort what? I will comfort others." After saying that, Chen Shen looked at Su Mo, a little puzzled, why didn't Sister Mo react? It shouldn't be, the old man's song, there is no power at all. Late marriage. The first song that Chen Shen arranged for himself, yes, for himself. Of course, it was also given to Su Mo, so that people around Su Mo would not think that Su Mo was paying for it, or that she had no bottom line for business. Chen Shen's road was already very narrow when he participated in this program. I can only find this kind of old man's works for myself to attract old men. I guess after the show is broadcast, only this group of people will not scold me. As for other groups, they can do whatever they want. My audience is not them, so there is no need to please them. At the barbecue stall, Su Yuan was angry. She felt that even if Su Mo helped Chen Shen, even if Chen Shen wanted to repay the favor, why write a song? Or a song about emotions? At first, Su Yuan thought Chen Shen wanted to create a program effect, but he really held back a big move. In that environment, Su Yuan couldn't tell whether it was good or bad, but the expressions and performances of the people around him would not lie. Chen Shen's song is great. On the one hand, I was angry that Chen Shen never told me that he could write songs, and he wrote them so well. On the other hand, I felt that if he just wrote it casually, why didn't he write it for me, but for Sister Mo? Doesn't Chen Shen know that feeling is really touching? This is not how to repay favors. What a big fool. It's so mad. Chen Shen is not here to talk about love. Fang Ye's voice sounded beside Su Yuan. Su Yuan turned his head. Brother Ye, don't worry about me, go eat, I want to be alone for a while. Fang Ye sighed, there are some things you don't know. Su Yuan looked over and waited for the next words. Fang Ye put the garlic paste on the eggplant while sorting out his thoughts. Wait a minute, let me think about how to make it up. When Chen Shen looked at him just now, Fang Ye understood that he had also taken the responsibility and said that he would tell Su Yuan about these things himself. I didn't expect this time point to come so quickly. Do you know Chen Hotpot? Fang Ye asked Su Yuan. Su Yuan frowned. Most people in Yuzhou know about this, what does this have to do with him? Chen Hotpot signed a bet agreement with leading capital 3 years ago, requiring Chen Hotpot to go public within 3 years. As a result, Chen Hotpot not only failed to go public, but also suffered large-scale losses. Some time ago, people from leading capital came to Yuzhou. They took the contract and found Chen Hotpot, asking Chen Hotpot to compensate for the failed investment and interest in the bet agreement. This is like a domino. Once it is touched, a large area will collapse. The bank that lent money to Chen Hotpot is naturally afraid that Chen Hotpot will not. They started to ask Chen Hotpot for money and even went to check the accounts. How could the suppliers sit still? The suppliers who usually pay monthly or quarterly also started to ask Chen Hotpot for money, fearing that Chen Hotpot could not bear it and could not get their money. It can be said that they were in a critical situation. Su Yuan interrupted, Brother Ye, you are not going to tell me a story, are you? I am not that idle. Fang Ye glanced at the other side of the table. Chen Shen is the son of the owner of Chen Hotpot. What are you kidding? Su Yuan glared, and then immediately looked at the other side of the table. She was looking at Su Mo. Indistinctly, Su Yuan seemed to remember that at the beginning of the show, Sister Mo introduced herself and said that the capital she worked for seemed to be called Leading Capital? Do you mean that Chen Shen and Su Mo know each other privately? Chen Shen came here for. At this point, Su Yuan covered his mouth. These things will definitely not be broadcast, but what if? Fang also shook his head, they don't know each other privately. They only got to know each other after coming here, so I hope you can understand a little bit. Su Mo did help him a lot. You may not know it, but we in the investment circle know it. Chen Hotpot not only came back to life, but also joined hands with Linghang Capital and Yuxiang Hotpot to jointly create a new brand. It is said that Qin Wenzi personally participated in this matter. He is the owner of Hanja Cave. Now not only do we have funds, but we can't wait to beg Chen Hotpot to lend them money. At this side of the table, Zhou Gaikan has been waiting. In any case, this song is a love song, right? No one really minds that Chen Shen wrote a song about love for Su Mo. Is your relationship so pure? Bullshit. King Ai, you are a professional. How about Chen Shen's song just now? Zhou Gaikan asked. Xia King Ai looked over, very good, very nice, talented, great. Zhou Gaikan's head was full of question marks, and then what? Xia King Ai is not stupid. Who would express his true side in this occasion? Even the silly Su Yuan just got up to grill skewers. What do you think? Is Chen Shen very charming when he sings? Xia King Ai asked Zhou Gaikan in return. Zhou Gaikan laughed awkwardly, ha ha ha, it's okay, where's Mian? Is your brother Chen Shen's song good? I heard a staff member praising him, saying that his lyrics are very well written. Su Mian looked over, reached out to take off the headphones she was still wearing, and then said, are you talking to me? Zhou Gaikan, dot. Su Mian frowned. She hated people talking halfway. Su Mian whispered to Su Mo, "Sister Mo, is his song good?" Su Mo thought about it and said after a long while, "It's good." Who would listen to the song seriously if they were thinking too much? They couldn't ask him to sing it again. On Su Mian's left was Su Mo, and on his right was Xia King Ai. Xia King Ai leaned towards Su Mian and whispered, "This is the song that impressed me the most this year." Really? Well, there haven't been works of such high quality in this category for a long time. His song is indeed a big move. Su Mian had a smile on her face. She listened very seriously at first, but she didn't understand. Before that, Su Mian rarely listened to songs about love. "I only listen to songs because the melody is nice. I just listen to the rhythm." Su Mian thinks the lyrics of those love songs are so silly. When listening to Chen Shen's song, Su Mian was nervous at first. For example, the first sentence, "Women are really smart, but they become stupid when they fall in love." Girls are smart, why do they become stupid when they fall in love? I love someone, not a fool. Su Mian doesn't understand. She is afraid that Chen Shen's song is not well written, so she asked everyone. Xia King Ai, a professional, affirmed that it is well written. It's okay as long as it is well written. Thanks to Book Friend 2024-6288 for the 2000 coin reward. Thanks to Stocksy Idol Guest for the 500 coin reward. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 124. In the afternoon, Zhao Chunsheng felt that his future was bleak. Chen Shen, this bastard, was messing around. He even said that Shen Hailan was coming, and he dared to hug Xia Cheng. What do you want people to think? An artist who has worked hard to train is sent to act in a real-life idol drama, only to end up competing with a bunch of girls for men? Shen Hailan has such a capable female idol in her hands now. Can she tolerate you messing around? Zhao Chunsheng begged his grandfather to sue his grandmother, hoping that the night would be more peaceful. As a result, Zhao Chunsheng was almost frightened for half his life when he heard Chen Shen wrote a song for someone on the program team's work channel. From Zhao Chunsheng's perspective, Chen Shen should keep a low profile at this time and let Xia King Ai be active, otherwise Shen Hailan would remove Xia King Ai and the actor's line would be meaningless. You, Chen Shen, still want to write songs? Why, you want to make your debut on the same spot? You are so capable, why don't you go to heaven? This is Zhao Chunsheng before listening to the song. What about after listening to the song? The first person to applaud was Zhao Chunsheng, his hands turned red. The corner of the mouth is harder to press than the AK. What the hell is this called singing? This is Chen Shen's heartfelt help to me, Zhao Chunsheng, and it is the resonance of the soul of a talented and handsome young man facing another rich sister who protects him. On the periphery of the staff, Zhao Chunsheng felt himself standing up and looked at Shen Hailan beside him. Mr. Shen, am I okay with this little brother? Shen Hailan's eyes were still on Chen Shen. She was standing among the group of staff just now, but the light was directed towards the table. For the people under the light, they were in the dark under the light, and it was difficult to see who was who. Chen Shen's song has only 4 words in Shen Hailan's mind, but the meaning is still unfinished. There is no arrangement, no lyrics, just listening. It's not satisfying and enjoyable. I haven't had this feeling in a long time. Shen Hailan made countless comparisons in his mind, but ended up shaking his head. No matter how Xia King Ai performed, it seemed impossible to overpower Chen Shen with this kind of work. Where is Chen Tianhui? Shen Hailan changed the subject. Zhao Chunsheng came back to his senses and looked around. Wasn't he still there just now? Where are people? Zhou Gaikan had been waiting for Chen Shen to overturn, but none of the girls seemed to care. Su Yuan came over from the barbecue stall with his head lowered. Zhou Gaikan finally ignited a little hope. You don't care, right? The results of it? Su Yuan also placed a plate of freshly roasted eggplants in front of Chen Shen. Zhou Gaikan looked up into space, feeling a little confused. In the darkness, Zhou Gaikan seemed to see someone waving to him. Zhou Gaikan rubbed his eyes and saw Chen Tianhui here. Zhou Gaikan looked around and wanted to say that he had to go to the toilet. But no one seemed to pay attention to him. Zhong Wenbei, who was sitting next to him, had already dragged his stool to Chen Shen's side. Zhou Gaikan sighed, stood up and left. Chen Tianhui pulled Zhou Gaikan to the foot of a big tree, and then asked, "What's the origin of that man named Chen Shen?" Zhou Gaikan looked back and replied, "What's your background? You're a former trainee of Black Gold Entertainment. Why are you here, old Chen?" "Gone." Zhou Gaikan waved his hand and said, "Don't be fooled by him. That guy is a complete scumbag. Didn't I tell you last time? His song is obviously aimed at Sister Mo. He wants to conquer its Sister Mo. What I, Zhou Gaikan, hate the most in my life is the scumbag. His song is like a blind cat meeting a dead mouse." The scumbag came from his experience in writing songs. Zhou Gaikan felt aggrieved and couldn't stop speaking. However, Chen Tianhui interrupted him, "Can." Zhou Gaikan, "Huh." Chen Tianhui, "Be polite to our new colleagues in the future." Zhou Gaikan. Chen Tianhui put his arm around Zhou Gaikan's shoulders, "Look, my surname is Chen, and his surname is Chen. Isn't this a wonderful fate? No wonder when I first saw him, I felt like an old friend at first sight, just like when I was young. Handsome, I think, he should be our happy person by nature." Zhou Gaikan retorted dully, "But he has a bad character." Chen Tianhui frowned, "How can we talk? How old are we? We are still so shallow in looking at people. How can people simply say whether they are good or not? That is called personality. I just like you people with personality. Ah Chen, you are a good boy, how do I treat you?" Zhou Gaikan sighed, "Stop talking, what do you want me to do?" Chen Tianhui chuckled and said, "Put aside your prejudices, build a good relationship with Chen Shen, and then bring him to our Huanyu. If you succeed in doing this, I will make you the head of the public relations department of Huanyu." Zhou Gaikan shook his head like a rattle, "Impossible. First, I, Zhou Gaikan, will never please him, Chen Shen. Second, there are only 2 people in our public relations department. They are usually just decorations. Their artist team is all taking over their own public relations work. Being a minister is of no use, I can help you connect the dots at best. That's not how the accounts are settled. Can, we have known each other for many years, right? If you can't take care of your relationship, you have to take care of your career. Director of the Public Relations Department of Joy, isn't it a little different when you go out to meet people? Brother. Just say a few words from your heart. Relationships depend on other people's faces. Let's make good use of these relationships and improve ourselves. That's what we can grasp. If you take a step back and think about it, if you don't like him, we instead, wouldn't it be nice to make him one of our own and discuss outsiders together, Chen Tianhui said earnestly. Zhou Gaikan stopped shaking his head and looked back at the table, his tone wavering, "No, this thing is two-way. I don't like him anymore, how can he like me? I can't do anything humble. Brain, let's use our brains. You 2 hot searches not only made the show popular, but also put the blame on him. How smart are you? Use this cleverness, you have to take it seriously. Shen Halen is here too, and she will meet Chen Shen in person later. Think about it, is it better to treat someone like Chen Shen as your own, or go to the other side of the river to live with Xia Cheng?" Zhou Gaikan glared, "Then let me try." The night was getting darker and the show was about to end. Su Yuan's attitude improved, but he still didn't talk to Chen Shen. When the show ended, he went back to the tent. Chen Shen was thinking about how to comfort Su Yuan when he was called away by the director. The yellowish street lights and the background music were the chirping of insects and birds. Chen Shen met Shen Hailan next to a business car. Zhao Chunsheng briefly introduced her and left. There is no doubt that Shen Hailan is a legendary figure in China in terms of idol training. Chu Fei, the boss of Yuan, basically did not participate in the operation. It all depended on two generals under his command, Han Jian and Shen Hailan. Shen Hailan was not tall, perhaps less than 1.7 meters, slightly fat, and had a sharp look. When she came in front of him, Shen Hailan smiled and stretched out her hand to Chen Shen. "It's the first time we met, and I'm impressed." Chen Shen stretched out his hand and shook it lightly. "I've heard of your name for a long time." Both of them smiled, but neither of them spoke immediately. After a moment of silence, Shen Hailan smiled and said, "I watched King Ai grow up. He was a trainee in our company in high school. He only had his career in mind. You should bear with him." When he really saw her, Shen Hailan felt that it was not appropriate to say anything. Chen Shen was not as frivolous as he appeared under the camera. Then there was Zhao Chunsheng's attitude. Before coming here, she and Zhao Chunsheng had at least 5 or 6 phone calls. After meeting Chen Shen, she found that she and Zhao Chunsheng were two completely different people. This meant that Zhao Chunsheng had lied to her about Chen Shen. "I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me?" Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 125. Why did Zhao Chunsheng lie? It shows that Chen Shen is more important than Xia King Ai in the eyes of Zhao Chunsheng, and even more important than me, Shen Hailan. This is a very realistic choice issue. Shen Hailan was indeed considering whether to unilaterally implement the protection clause in the contract and ask Zhao Chunsheng to delete all Xia King Ai's content. Of course, there is no need to worry about this, as it can be done before the program is launched. I want to see Chen Shen in the afternoon, and I really want to get Chen Shen to come to Yuan. What will happen? I want to, but I just can't do it. Shen Hailan is currently at the peak of his career, and many things can be detected at a glance. Just at that barbecue party, among the 4 female guests, which one was not nice to him? One of them was obviously caught singing, or was it original? What about the other 3? Is anyone openly showing off their face? Not to mention the female guests, except for Zhou Gaikan, the other 2 male guests were also coaxed around. And Zhao Chunsheng, a director, why would he be so subjective as to speak for a young actor who has never debuted? This cannot be done by a simple background. This kind of person is difficult to persuade unless he wants to. Chen Shen originally thought that what was waiting for him was a long negotiation, or some reminders or clarification of the interests. Unexpectedly, the other party would retreat in order to advance. Even though Chen Shen was thick-skinned, he was a little embarrassed. Mr. Shen was made to laugh. Shen Hailan narrowed his eyes and asked you to bear with me. Even if you don't even push me, you really have an idea, brother? Already feeling embarrassed, Chen Shen raised his eyebrows, and it was time to say something serious. Mr. Shen, it's not easy to be a young girl. For a female star with such a high traffic, if you ask her to be in a variety show, it will have a bad impact on her. In the past 2 days, what has she been scolded for? Is that person named Song Zener from your company, and she also liked Qing Yi's article? Look, how wrong you have made her. Shen Hailan looked at Chen Shen, dumbfounded. Are you talking to me? Mr. Shen, you are a big shot. I am just a trainee who has not debuted. I speak based on personal preferences. Because of this, I have offended a lot of people in Yanjing. Please bear with me. Qing Yi is focused on his career. She doesn't regard all career pressure as pressure. It's just that I, an outsider, feel a little sorry for her to say this. I have seen her secretly wiping away tears. Shen Halen was stunned several times, mainly because she had checked Chen Shen's information. On the Hajan side, it was indeed as he said. He not only quarreled with company executives, but also shunned customers. If it hadn't been for most of today's on-site observation, Shen Halen felt that she might really have been fooled by him. Even with his subjective judgment, he was stunned several times. Shen Halen quickly interrupted him, stop it, I won't accept your tricks, and I will say what I have to say." Chen Shen was still a little unfinished and said, "Then let me put it another way. As Xia King Ai's #1 fan, I feel it is necessary to complain on her behalf." Shen Halen felt her head hurt. She felt that it was impossible to be polite to Chen Shen. Are you serious? Do you feel sorry for her? Are you just cuddling with her while writing love songs to other women? Chen Shen frowned. Mr. Shen, please don't talk nonsense. It's okay if you have opinions about me. Su Mo from Pilot Capital is innocent. Shen Halen, Chen Shen, I thought our local entertainment companies in Yuzhou were different and couldn't be compared with Black Gold Entertainment, right? I didn't expect Mr. Shen to blame me without any reason. That song was not a love song, so I was just an outsider. But Xia King Ai is different, she is truly a pioneer in your idol career. Shen Halen sighed, if you keep telling me, I will ask Xia King Ai to quit the show now. Chen Shen shut up. Shen Halen smiled helplessly. He had not encountered such a difficult young man for a long time. Originally, I really didn't intend to tell him whether there was any of this, but it turned out that they had already prepared it, and the good and the bad were first put on my head, and they even slapped him in the face, as if I was bullying him. How did this guy get kicked out of Black Gold Entertainment? Are there still ruthless people on the Black Gold side? You have to give me a reason to let Xia King Ai stay, right? Shen Halen looked at Chen Shen. Chen Shen thought for a while, I also prepared a song for her, but I don't want you to make money. Shen Halen glared, first of all, your songs may not make money, and secondly, we really have not sorry for Xia King Ai. Chen Shen waved his hand, anyway, you don't believe that my songs can make money. It just so happens that I don't like you guys very much, so that's fine. My songs will be sung by King Ai, and I will only give her the right to share the profits of her personal songs. It has nothing to do with you, how about it? Shen Halen rolled her eyes, it's not that good. The popularity of Lianzone was created by your joint efforts. Chen Shen also rolled his eyes, then the deal falls apart. I'll sing it myself. At worst, I'll secretly give Qing a penny in private. You won't treat her well anyway. Shen Halen put his hands on his hips, why are you so unreasonable? Chen Shen's face didn't change, what's wrong with me? I sing my own songs, and I secretly give money to your artists, and you still call me unreasonable? Mr. Shen, I'm so aggrieved when I chat with you. Shen Halen began to take a deep breath, her chest rising and falling, and it took her a while to realize, can't we just be friends? A smile appeared on Chen Shen's face. He reached out and grabbed Shen Halen's hand, and made a handshake gesture, it's not impossible. Chen Shen, a trainee who has not debuted for 2 years, please take care of Mr. Shen. Shen Halen shook off Chen Shen's hand and really wanted to call the police. Shen Halen is really helpless with this kind of scoundrel who tries to reason with you, I really didn't treat King Ai badly. Chen Shen did not refute this time, but just repeated, I will not treat her badly. Shen Halen was stunned. Can this guy speak seriously? Mr. Shen, you don't have to worry about King Ai. You have seen what you should see. I can't clear myself here. You can make demands to Director Zhao Chunsheng at will. I will definitely be the one who is scolded. I don't care. Really, you don't think it will have a big impact on whether King Ai leaves or not now? I think you might as well calm down and think about this matter carefully. If I were a conscienceless person, I wouldn't write a song for Sue Mo. That thing is not easy to write. Don't you think so? Sue Mo helped me. I can't let her suffer. You can find out these things by checking. Does King Ai bet on her own? Your career is good for me. Sue Mo, I been like that, how can I hurt King Ai? Listen to the palm. Bah. Anyway, this is the situation, I hope you will seriously consider it. Shen Halan looked at Chen Shen, and after a moment of silence, he said, what if I want you to join Yuan Media? Chen Shen smiled and said, then I can only say that you are really brave. Shen Halan rolled his eyes, waved his hand and got in the car. Get lost, it's so tiring to talk to you. If something happens to Xia King Ai, I will settle the account today. Chen Shen waved his hand and watched the black business car go away. Shen Halan is really tired. Chen Shen's words seem helpless, but in fact he said everything. Whether Xia King Ai retires or not, the impact is really not that big now, at most it is not that exciting. Chen Shen should be popular, and if Xia King Ai is missing, Chen Shen may be scolded less. If Chen Shen keeps Xia King Ai, based on this logic, it is indeed good for Xia King Ai. The hot search has been done, and it's not like he doesn't know that Xia King Ai is on a love variety show. Retreating at this time is the most helpless choice, and it is to tell others that Yuan has suffered a defeat. What if Yuan wants to control Chen Shen through Xia King Ai? Chen Shen also expressed that at most he will support Xia King Ai. What can you do? Dimensional strike at the capital level? Su Mo is from Linghang Capital, a big capital in Pengcheng, and has invested in countless penguin-related industries behind the scenes, unless Su Mo does not help. This is where Shen Halan feels tired. Chen Shen has inexplicably become a big iron barrel without cracks. How to play? People are still painting cakes for you. He also hopes that Xia King Ai will be good. Do you believe it or not? Shen Halan can't come to a conclusion. She knows too little about Chen Shen. This time, Shen Halan feels that she is not well prepared and should not meet Chen Shen. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 126. Chen Shen also walked back. He didn't think he had frightened Shen Halan. Mainly because Shen Halan came to see him at this time, and Chen Shen was not sure what she wanted to do. Regardless of whether there is or not, just pretend it first and then talk about the rest later. The program team just started eating now and gathered in the square to eat box lunches. Before Chen Shen could get close, Zhao Chunsheng appeared in front of him. How was the chat? How do you want the conversation to go? Chen Shen asked. Zhao Chunsheng smiled, it's okay, it's not a big problem. Seeing Chen Shen's attitude, Zhao Chunsheng was relieved. He was not afraid of Shen Halan withdrawing Xia King Ai, but he was afraid that Shen Halan would take care of Chen Shen. Director Zhao, do you think Shen Halan will let Qingyi go, or will he not want Qingyi to appear in Lianzone? Chen Shen asked again. Zhao Chunsheng shook his head and whispered, I used to have this kind of worry, but now I don't. Why would you condone Xia King Ai's fans and say that they suppress Xia King Ai? Because even they only have experience in cultivating idols and have no idols. Continuous development experience. Chen Shen nodded, he felt it too. Is Yuan Media awesome? Ox. There are a lot of mature idols under their control, but they are all cultivated from scratch. This is the dilemma of all entertainment companies at the moment. The core resources are basically in the hands of major platforms. Why can't I control those three now? Because Yuan didn't have better resources, they couldn't control Xiaoqing once he became popular, and they could only catch him again after he went downhill. Xia King Ai struggled on his own, not because Yuan didn't want to take care of it, but because he didn't have a better way. Yuen still plays the rest of Penguin, but at this time, whether it is a variety show or acting, it is not the same as being treated at Penguin. This gap requires Xia King Ai to figure out on his own. In the early morning, Chen Shen was awakened by the chirping of birds. Or you can hear the chirping of birds when you wake up, and if you listen carefully, you can also hear the sound of a stream. I got up and washed up, and then I had 2 thermos buckets on hand. The program team prepared breakfast in the small square. Diagonally opposite the tent where he lives is the tent of Su Yuen and Xia King Ai. Chen Shen called several times at the door, and after more than 10 seconds, the tent was opened from inside. It was Xia King Ai. Apparently, he was awake and could only open one of his eyes. He was wearing a set of pink cotton pajamas and looked very angry. "What are you doing so early in the morning?" Chen Shen handed over the thermos bucket. "Breakfast." Xia Qing took it over. "What's wrong with you? Still sleeping?" Xia King Ai rubbed her eyes and stepped back. "You can call her yourself." After saying that, she breathed a sigh of relief, put the thermos bucket on the ground, and immediately jumped on her little bed, covering her with the quilt, which no one loved. When Chen Shen entered the room, Su Yuen was sleeping soundly, with his white calves still outside the quilt. Chen Shen placed another thermos bucket next to Su Yuen's bed, and looked back at Xia King Ai, who was covered by the quilt. "No, you really don't care about me?" Chen Shen sighed, reached out and pulled the quilt, covering Su Yuen's calf. Looking up, Chen Shen was greeted by wide-eyed eyes. However, after looking at each other, Su Yuen closed his eyes again. "Would you like to climb a mountain?" Su Yuen turned over and gave Chen Shen a slap on the back of his head. "I just said you don't want to play with me, so I'll go find Sister Mo." Su Yuen turned over again, stared at Chen Shen, and gritted his teeth. Chen Shen smiled, pulled out a small bench, and then opened the thermos bucket. The thermos bucket was a separate one. There were steamed buns and steamed corn on the top, and porridge and red bean porridge on the bottom. Chen Shen picked up a small steamed bun, tore off a piece and brought it to Su Yuen's mouth. Su Yuen snorted and did not eat immediately. Instead, he stretched out his hand to breathe, as if smelling whether he had breath, and then opened his mouth to catch it. "I don't want to climb the mountain anymore. Where can I see the artificial lake?" "Where is the artificial lake?" "It seems to be over there where I had lunch yesterday. I want to drink porridge." Chen Shen put down the steamed bun, took a spoon, and began to feed Su Yuen porridge. After taking 2 mouthfuls of porridge, Su Yuen burst into laughter. Even though he didn't quite understand why Chen Shen wanted to write a song for Su Mo, there was a reason why Fang also told Su Yuen a story about Chen Shen. The contradiction in writing songs faded away in Su Yuen's heart. Instead, Chen Shen's family background was not that ordinary. Will the feeling be the same as before? Su Yuen didn't think about these things all night. He just woke up and saw Chen Shen, and he was still coaxing himself. After thinking about it carefully, there seemed to be no need to be angry. The unhappy mood last night was not connected at all. "Have you got a meal yet?" "Have eaten." "Ha, then get out, I want to get up." Chen Shen smiled and said, "You didn't even cover yourself when I came in." Su Yuen stared, quickly covered himself with the quilt and looked inside. When he poked his head out again, he breathed a sigh of relief. Chen Shen stood up and went out happily. Next to him, Xia King Ai was also covered with a quilt, eyes closed, and muttered, "Damn scumbag." 10 minutes later, Su Yuen, wearing a sportswear suit, stood in front of Chen Shen. "Have you washed up?" Su Yuen said angrily, "What a look. Am I the kind of person who doesn't care about hygiene? I have wet wipes and mouthwash, so I can go around." Su Yuen pushed Chen Shen towards the artificial lake. It is said to be an artificial lake, but it is more like a deep pool. You can see the bottom clearly on the outside, and the water has a light blue color, which is very beautiful. There is a stone road along Shenton, surrounded by big trees. The stone road is very narrow and uneven. It may be to make the visitors feel more experienced. It goes up and down, and there are occasionally strange trees blocking the way. At the beginning, it was fine. The two walked hand in hand and talked and laughed. During the break, Su Yuan sighed and said, "No, I can't pretend to be confused." Chen Shen asked, "What's wrong?" He went out early in the morning without reporting or bringing any radio equipment, so naturally there was no camera following. Su Yuan came over and said, "I know, brother Ye told me." "What did he say?" "Oh, it's very strange, you are so annoying. He said that your family business is very big. I have been mentally prepared to struggle slowly. Let's rely on ourselves. What if we are the lucky ones?" Su Yuan gestured while talking. It was really weird. It was obvious that he was good to him and he was handsome, but he also had money. I always felt uncomfortable and unreal. I couldn't pretend to be confused when I knew the truth. It was very uncomfortable. Seeing Chen Shen laughing, Su Yuan reached out and pushed Chen Shen. "You're still laughing, I'm so annoyed." Chen Shen grabbed Su Yuan's hand and said softly, "Then do you blame me?" "I don't know, it seems that I can't blame you, you didn't lie to me, think about it carefully, including writing songs for Sister Mo, you told me in advance." Chen Shen pinched Su Yuan's hand. Maybe this is why he didn't want to give up Su Yuan. The people Zhao Chunsheng found are mostly kind-hearted. The general direction is good, and some small thoughts are just sentiment, which is harmless. Actually, I lied to you, but I emphasized every truth. Su Yuan recalled, and then rolled his eyes. No, 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 it's so corny, I don't want to hear this now. Every time Chen Shen emphasized the truth, it was emotional. You should find a way to solve it quickly, otherwise I will have concerns about getting along with you. Su Yuan was a little anxious. Chen Shen smiled and said, "Then I'll be honest with you. The family business is just like your current job. I don't like it. I want to make money in the entertainment industry." Su Yuan frowned, thought for a while, and asked in conclusion, "In other words, the family business can have nothing to do with you." "Well, you can understand it this way." Su Yuan breathed a sigh of relief. "Then I feel more comfortable. Maybe I'm a little hypocritical. I always want to keep that special simplicity and a little proud of my choice." Chen Shen grabbed Su Yuan's hand and continued to move forward. The pressure in Su Yuan's heart gradually disappeared, and that simple sense of pleasure slowly recovered. It was this feeling that could ignore everything else and completely immerse herself in the feeling of the person around her. Su Yuan was indeed proud in her heart, proud of Chen Shen's goodness, and proud of her own choice. She did hesitate whether to refer to social attributes to choose a partner. Later, she rejected it, and this was something to be proud of in Su Yuan's heart. People like Su Mo, Xiaoqing Ii, and Su Mian may not feel that they can fall in love based on their personal preferences, but Su Yuan thinks that it is a kind of courage for girls from the lower class to be able to do this. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 127. I think I understand. You sing not only for Sister Mo, Su Yuan suddenly said. Chen Shen nodded, that's about right. Su Yuan suddenly burst out laughing. Chen Shen turned around, what are you laughing at? I'm laughing at you. My suggestion is that if you really want to work in the entertainment industry, let's go behind the scenes, Su Yuan said with a smile. Chen Shen frowned, why? This is what Su Yuan was thinking about last night. Is Chen Shen good? Very good. In Su Yuan's eyes at this moment, his whole body seems to be glowing. Then if he wants to go to the entertainment industry, are you worried? Su Yuan was actually very calm and even curious. You are good looking, a good person, and talented. Logically, you are fully qualified to go to the entertainment industry, but you are ruined by this show, ha ha ha. Su Yuan couldn't help it, and laughed. Who dares to date 4 girls in the entertainment industry in a dating variety show? Will the audience buy Chen Shen's character into the entertainment industry? Su Yuan didn't expect that this would become the source of his sense of security, which was really weird. Su Yuan sighed and said, "Give me back the tablet when you go back. I'll work on Xiaohongshu and Douyin. I'm afraid you won't make money in the entertainment industry." Chen Shen, it doesn't matter. If I can't make money, I'll just sacrifice myself. Su Yuan looked over, what do you mean? Chen Shen stretched, you'll know later. The sun came out, and the green was dyed gold. It was another good day. The night in the mountains was so long for Zhou Gaikan. He also grew a beard, and his entire chin was black. Getting along well with Chen Shen and pulling Chen Shen to Huanyu was really outrageous. After washing up, Zhou Gaikan sat by the stream alone and took out his phone. The trainee took the scumbag script to the Love Variety show. This hot search was still on the hot search list of Weibo, but it just dropped a little. I don't know if it was Xiaoqing Ai's fans or Zhang Sukin's fans who issued the so-called investigation order. Who is it, who dares to step on Xiaoqing Ai and Zhang Sukin, 2 top stars, to rise to the top before debuting? There are a lot of speculations in the comment area, and many famous trainees who have not debuted are caught in the crossfire. Of course, some people have guessed the correct answer. In the comment area of this hot search term, someone posted a photo of Chen Shen. It is said that this person was originally a trainee of Black Gold Entertainment. Because of a series of reasons such as not practicing hard, arrogance, disrespect for company leaders, and looking down on other trainees, he was kicked out of Black Gold Entertainment. He became the first trainee of Black Gold Entertainment to leave without asking for liquidated damages. Not to mention, there are quite a lot of people commenting on this post. He's from Yuzhou, and he has a grudge against Heijin Entertainment. It could be him. I didn't believe it at first. How could he have so many problems when he's so sunny and handsome? When I saw that Heijin Entertainment didn't even ask for liquidated damages, I knew this guy was extraordinary. Ha ha ha, it's so funny. If you say so, it could be him. It just so happens that the love show is also recorded in Yuzhou. It's obvious that he's not a good guy. I understand that you have a grudge against Heijin and you want to put down Zhang Sukin, but why do you want to put down our King Ai? Sisters, I'm already angry. I get angry when I see this face. If he's on a love show, I'll definitely give him a low score. Sisters, wait a minute. What if it's not him? Seeing these comments, Zhou Gaikan sighed. How can I get along well with Chen Shen? The knife has already been cut on him. Still looking for him to play? Let him be magnanimous and not care? Zhou Gaikan clicked on a dialog box, brother, remove the hot search about the trainee on the dating variety show. Brother, remove it again? How do we do it this time? Weibo's hot search has its own operating rules. First of all, if you want to operate internally, you have to ensure that the information provided is true. If you remove the hot search internally, unless it is a particularly big deal or the leader has said so, you can remove it violently. The people below can only use demotion or new entries to cover it. For example, the first time Xiaoqing Ai's hot search was removed, it was covered with the hot search about the trainee taking the script on the dating variety show. In the eyes of the audience, it was just that this hot search fermented and upgraded, and disappeared without a trace. Zhou Gaikan thought about it and typed, I'll send you a photo, and use this photo to divert the heat. Soon, Joe Gaikin found a photo with a dim light in a private collection on his mobile phone. If you look closely, you can see that it is a photo of someone smoking in a public place. As a public relations officer of a large company, Joe Gaikin has a good relationship with many paparazzi in private. When paparazzi have something, they usually look around in the circle to see if anyone wants to buy it. Joe Gaikin has a lot of things in his hands, all bought in this way, not expensive. These photos paparazzi usually sell to many people in order to maximize profits. They don't guarantee freshness either. If you use it late, others may have used it. Joe Gaikin will not lose money in this kind of business. New artists will also have problems, their own team can't handle it. Joe Gaikin will occasionally use this method. This kind of thing is usually paid by the artist himself. How much is said is how much. Joe Gaikin's principle is that as long as I don't spread rumors, it doesn't matter. The entertainment industry is like this anyway. There is a waterfall at the innermost part of the pool. There is not much water flow now, and the waterfall just flows down along the stone wall, which is unbelievably gentle. Chen Shen stood on the wooden bridge, looking outside, feeling relaxed and happy. This place is indeed okay. Su Yuan sat on a stone and took out his phone. The road was not easy to walk on. It vibrated several times just now, but I didn't check it. On WeChat, my bestie replied. What's wrong? You sent me so many messages in the middle of the night? Did your handsome guy make you angry? How old are you? You still send those rolling emojis. If you are unhappy, call me. Who doesn't sleep in the early morning? Last night, Su Yuan felt wronged, and Chen Shen didn't comfort herself, so she sent some inexplicable messages to her bestie. Su Yuan typed a reply, what? Maybe I touched my phone while sleeping. Girlfriend. Girlfriend, are you really fine? Don't try to be brave. No matter how handsome he is, it's useless if he's not good to us, understand? Su Yuan, no, I know, I'm just a little annoyed. Girlfriend, what are you annoyed about? Su Yuan, me, I found out that he lied to me. Girlfriend. This is definitely not okay. How can he lie to people? What did he lie to you about? Su Yuan, I originally thought he was just a good-looking guy, but I didn't expect his family to be rich. Girlfriend, Chen Shen was also holding his phone and looking at it. When he heard Su Yuan's laughter, he turned his head and glanced at her. Su Yuan noticed Chen Shen's gaze and stuck out his tongue at Chen Shen. On WeChat, Xiaoqing Ai sent a message saying that Shen Hailan wanted to add him, and asked if he wanted to push WeChat to her. Chen Shen replied, push it? Didn't I tell her to come over? If they dare to let you come to the romance show, I will let you sit on the ghost fire. Xiaoqing Ai, bah. Scumbag. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 128. Su Mo and Su Mian went to the creek, and a few boys were going to climb a mountain. Both groups called Xiaoqing Ai, but Xiaoqing Ai didn't go anywhere. He pulled up a small deck chair and sat at the door of the tent to bask in the sun. For Xiaoqing Ai, doing nothing is called rest. Another thing is that my mood is average. Xiaoqing Ai used to think that Chen Shen was more professional than him, but after developing a good impression of him, he started to appreciate it. She originally thought that Chen Shen was really just acting for other people. Especially after the song last night, Chen Shen basically didn't talk to Su Yuan. At that time, Xiaoqing Ai thought Chen Shen was smart. Taking advantage of the situation, he will slowly keep a distance from Su Yuan. After all, Chen Shen is not afraid that Su Yuan will find someone else. As a result, this guy ran to comfort people early in the morning and fed them breakfast. Thinking of this, Xiaoqing Ai felt a little uncomfortable. Are you a fool? You can keep your distance according to Su Yuan's emotions and still have to solve the problem? Or does he also have some unprofessional thoughts about Su Yuan? You can't really leave with Su Yuan hand in hand, right? When Xia King I thought of this possibility, he started to pinch himself. No, 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 unless Chen Shen wants to die. He doesn't know what Sister Lan said to him. Chen Shen wouldn't backstab him, would he? The more she thought about these things, the more irritated she became. Xiaoqing groaned and looked at the blue sky and white clouds in the sky. What's wrong with you? Suddenly a voice sounded. Xiaoqing was startled and looked over quickly. What he saw was Su Yuan and he breathed a sigh of relief. It's okay. Where is Chen Shen? You went to the bathroom, are you okay? Xiaoqing's face turned slightly red and she was a little embarrassed. She would be a little nervous when she was unhappy. Unexpectedly, she was bumped into by Su Yuan. It's okay. Do you want to bask in the sun? It's quite comfortable. Su Yuan was in a good mood and entered the tent. After a while, he also pulled out a small foldable recliner and placed it next to Xia King II. Su Yuan and Xia King II are about the same age, but they are women with completely different styles. Xia King II is so delicate that she looks like she stepped out of a comic book, and Su Yuan is the kind of person who is full of affinity and, of course, is also a beauty. Xiaoqing glanced at Su Yuan. She couldn't tell how Chen Shen felt about Su Yuan, but Su Yuan liked Chen Shen 100%, that was for sure. The two of them have never had a good conversation. It's not that they don't naturally like each other. Maybe their attitude was wrong at the beginning, and then there was Chen Shen in the middle. In the past 2 days, you and him seem to be quite scolded, Su Yuan said suddenly. She did hear the strange noises Xiaoqing made while looking at the sky, just like when she was sick and uncomfortable. Su Yuan only discovered the entry related to romance drama yesterday when he was bored and browsing Weibo. He took a few glances at it because it affected the people around him. Many people dislike Xia King II, and if you look at what they said, you would know that sooner or later she would be out of control, as she had done in the past, and then Xia King II's fans would refute and quarrel. Chen Shen was also scolded. As one of the key suspects for Xia King II and Zhang Sukin's hot searches as a trainee, he was also scolded. So, in the morning, Chen Shen said he wanted to make money in the entertainment industry, and Su Yuan accepted it quickly. It was for this reason that I wasn't so angry that I ignored Chen Shen yesterday. He had been scolded by so many people behind his back, so I couldn't scold him too. Chen Shen wanted to make money in the entertainment industry, but Su Yuan felt that the start was too bad. When I saw Xia King II again, I had a bad association. How powerful was Xia King II at his peak, but now. Even Lian Zong is here, Su Yuan feels that the entertainment industry is really difficult to get involved in, and even Xia King II can't make the decision on his own. I'm fine, he doesn't seem like someone who cares about this, Xia King II answered casually. What if I keep being scolded? Will it be uncomfortable? Su Yuan asked again. In the entertainment industry, there are not many people who are scolded all the time. This kind of treatment is not something ordinary people can get. In today's era, the pace is too fast. Don't look at how happy they are scolding them at this moment. In a few days, they will forget everything. Xiaoqing thought that Su Yuan cared about her, not to mention that even a person with ordinary senses seemed to have some filters as long as she cared about him. Seeing Su Yuan clapping his fingers there, Xia King II asked casually, "What are you doing?" Su Yuan looked over and said, "I'm counting the number of episodes of Lian Zong to see how many episodes Chen Shen will be scolded." The corner of Xiaoqing's mouth twitched, and he said, "How could Su Yuan care about him?" Su Yuan certainly knew how Chen Shen would be scolded if he wanted to develop in the entertainment industry. She had seen many examples. If it hadn't been for the song last night, Su Yuan would have definitely tried to persuade Chen Shen. With that song, It seemed like he could really give it a try, but the start was too bad. Su Yuan glanced at Xia King Ai. She felt that Xia King Ai accounted for a large proportion of the reasons why Chen Shen was scolded. Chen Shen is being scolded now, partly by Xia King Ai's fans. From Su Yuan's perspective, it's normal for your Xia Qing to be on the hot search. She already has a lot of traffic, but why do you want our Chen Shen to be on the hot search too? Chen Shen is so miserable. His family has encountered difficulties, but after finally solving them, he is scolded by so many people. Xia Qing looked at Su Yuan. What do you mean? Not only are you not comforting, but you also blame me. No way, no way, no one would think that Chen Shen was scolded because of me, Xia King Ai, right? Xia Qing's expression changed several times and interrupted, thank you again. Su Yuan, huh? If one day, you also think Chen Shen deserves to be scolded, will you scold him? Su Yuan frowned, then shook his head. Yesterday I thought he deserved to be scolded, but I didn't scold him. Xia Qing nodded, hoping that Su Yuan would still think so when the show ended. We haven't really talked about it. I'm a little curious about your view on love. If you encounter a man who makes a principled mistake in your relationship, will you tolerate him? Su Yuan shook his head. Cheating? That's definitely impossible to forgive. Cheating doesn't count. If your boyfriend always cheats on you, will you tolerate it? Su Yuan frowned, then shook his head and said, I can't like this kind of man. If we find out that he cheated on me after being together, we will definitely break up. I'm not stupid. Xia Qing nodded, this is the same as me. If a man dares to cheat on me, I will definitely not tolerate it. This kind of thing has 1, 2, 3, and 4. Tolerance is indulgence, which is to lower your bottom line. That is not love. Su Yuan, that's definitely impossible to tolerate. Chen Shen was still squatting in the toilet, pulling with Shen Halen. When they met yesterday, Chen Shen thought Shen Halen was quite stylish. Talking across the phone, it felt like she was a different person. I asked someone to listen to the demo you sent over. It's okay, just one song? King Ai's new album is about to be released, and the quality of the 5 songs is average. I don't think it will make much difference to replace one song. Chen Shen rubbed his temples. This thing is not easy to write, really. If you don't believe me, ask your production team to make 2 songs to try. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 129. At the beginning, Shen Halen made her position clear. She could ignore Xia King Ai, but Chen Shen could not ignore Xia King Ai. Then Chen Shen began to negotiate with her. Chen Shen could write songs for Xia King Ai without money, but he wanted full copyright and sales dividends. Shen Halen was not happy with Chen Shen, so she said that she did not like Yuan, and insisted that Yuan was not good for Xia King Ai, and it was impossible for Yuan to make money from her. This was the character setting that Chen Shen had established last night. Chen Shen's plan was very simple. There were some songs that he could not sing himself, and it was useless to remember them in his mind. If Xia King Ai was suitable, he would give them to her to sing. But the full copyright must be in his own hands. This thing is equivalent to depositing a large sum of money in the bank, which is the biggest guarantee in this life. It is more reliable than the family business. If someone uses it commercially within 50 years after his death, he can get a share of the money. This is the foundation of his life. Unexpectedly, Shen Halen agreed very readily and asked Chen Shen to send a small sample to see the quality. If the quality is okay, and they confirm that Xia King Ai is not without gain, then Shen Halen can really ignore Xia King Ai. As a result, she started to say that one song is not enough. Chen Shen, you also know that it is not easy for our King Ai. It is not easy to get a love variety show. She was originally sure to win, but now she will not look for others. I was at the scene yesterday. When you sang, I wanted to hang my eyes on you. I can't let her lose the show, lose her heart, and lose her career. Now it is Chen Shen's turn to have a headache. Sure enough, whoever is shameless is difficult to deal with. Chen Shen can probably guess the other party's point. Are the conditions harsh? Very harsh. Chen Shen's requirements are to have full copyrights and at least 1/3 of sales dividends. Why can the other party agree? There is definitely profit, and Xiaoqing I's contract is with Yuan. If Xiaoqing I has good works, the commercial value will be great, and Yuan can make money in other ways. It's not that Chen Shen is stingy, but he really didn't prepare a second song. In Shen Halen's office at Yuan Media, Shen Halen was waiting for Chen Shen's reply. An hour ago, Shen Halen sent the demo of Chen Shen's work to Yuan's art director. The reply was that it was better than the 5 songs Xiaoqing I had collected. Shen Halen was still a little shocked. Is Chen Shen so talented? According to Shen Halen's intuition, the song Last Night was also a top-notch work. As for why she agreed to Chen Shen's series of harsh conditions, talent must be a reason, and there is also Chen Shen's family background. This guy is indeed not short of money, and Sumo's relationship with him is deeper than she thought. Since she doesn't want to be an opponent, then be a friend. Shen Halen is still clear about this. Business has its own way of doing things, and friends have their own ways of doing things. Making concessions is the key point to distinguish whether a businessman is a good businessman or not. I'll try again. If I can write 2 songs, I'll write them. Chen Shen's message came. Shen Halen stared. Is there really an unexpected gain? She originally thought that if she couldn't squeeze the second song, she would make a condition with Chen Shen: you can not come to Yuan, but you can't go to Huanyu, but she didn't expect that the second song would work. Come on, if you have something, just come to me directly. I emphasize again that we really have nothing bad to Xiaoqing I. Shen Halen didn't dare to continue to negotiate conditions, and made friends first. Chen Shen, if there is nothing bad, will her fans scold you? But it doesn't matter, most companies in the entertainment industry are the same. Seeing Chen Shen's message, Shen Halen was relieved. This personality is established in Shen Halen. Xiaoqing I's fans are indeed scolding Yuan, saying that Yuan suppressed her, and Chen Shen has indeed suffered losses from the entertainment company. On Weibo, there are still people standing on the position of Heijin Entertainment to scold Chen Shen for being a bad guy. It is a good thing and it is not a good thing. The point of not being a good thing is that it is difficult to get him to Yuan, and the point of being a good thing is that it is difficult for him to go to Huanyu. We are really different from other companies. By the way, the hot search on your Weibo is probably caused by Huanyu's people. You should be more careful, Shen Halen deliberately reminded him. Chen Shen, can you play something advanced? You have to do all these tricks. Shen Halen closed the dialog box with Chen Shen. The next step was meaningless chat, and then looked at the assistant behind him. What did you just say? The assistant whispered, Wang Yu is in trouble. Someone took a photo of him smoking in a public place. Shen Halen was stunned at first, and then said helplessly, he is arrogant. It's better to learn a lesson. Let his own team handle it. You contact Wang Chenxi and give him the work of the Love Variety Show. This work is easy. Just take it as a break. The assistant nodded, okay. Just when the assistant was about to go out, Shen Halen spoke again, wait a minute, contact Zhao Chunsheng, and you need a quota for the observation room. This project is likely to explode, and it is also a good resource. Assistant, okay. After the assistant went out, Shen Halen logged into Weibo to check the latest news on Weibo. After looking around, I kind of understand why Chen Shen asked if he could try something more advanced. The hot search terms about him have been adjusted to the end. Wang Yu, one of the 3 idols of TT family under Yuan Media, smoking in public places, this hot search spread very quickly. Shen Hailan shrugged, and it was obvious that it was done by Huan Yu. Chen Shen suddenly showed a different value and immediately started to please him. Shen Hailan curled her lips and said, "You still have the energy to do these things at this time, you are also careless." Chen Shen came out of the toilet, his feet were numb from squatting, and he moved for a long time before he reacted. Shen Hailan reminded herself that she was also reminding Shen Hailan that it was best to fight. During this period, Zhou Gaikan was quite active. First, he made Xiaoqing a hot search topic, and now he is targeting Wang Yu. Chen Shen did not believe that Yu Wen could bear it. Taking out his phone and finding his sister's WeChat account, Chen Shen edited a message and sent it, "Sister, take a look at Huan Yu's stock when you have time. If you have any loose tickets, buy them slowly from now on. There will always be people visiting the Clear Creek." Su Mian was wearing light-colored jeans. She rolled up the trousers. Under the sun, her skin was shining brightly and translucently. Su Mo followed Su Mian, watching Su Mian bend down to pick up a stone from time to time. After Su Mian picked up something nice, she asked Su Mo if she wanted it. Su Mo was very curious about Su Mian's state. I don't know who Chen Shen was accompanying. Did Su Mian not mind at all? Mian, what are you going to do after this show is over? Su Mo asked. Su Mian knelt down and cleaned a small stone she had just picked up. I don't know, but I think he will make arrangements. Su Mian looked over and said, "Yes, he has written songs for you, there is no way he could ignore me." Su Mo actually felt guilty when Su Mian saw it, and said unnaturally, "Since you mind, why don't you tell him?" Su Mian thought for a while and then said, "I don't mind it very much. Maybe I haven't experienced the jealous feeling mentioned in the TV series. Besides, he and I are good friends now." Su Mo shook his head, What if? What if Chen Shen is no longer good friends with others?" Su Mian stuffed the clean stones into the pocket of her coat, and then looked at Su Mo, "That's also my own problem, I'm not brave enough." Su Mian is actually okay. She believes in Chen Shen and herself. I believe that Chen Shen believes that Chen Shen will not lie to him. I believe that he feels that it is not easy for him to meet someone like Chen Shen, and he will definitely not break up easily. If there is a big problem, just think of a way to solve it. On Weibo, many people scolded Chen Shen. Su Mian sometimes thought that it would be great if the whole world didn't like Chen Shen. Then it's all yours. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 130. At 4:30 in the afternoon, the motorcade arrived at the villa. It was the same car that I took when I went there yesterday, and it was still the same car that I took when I came back. Chen Shen got out of the car with a sigh of relief. Su Yuan followed behind him with a pouted mouth. Su Mian also glanced at Chen Shen from time to time. Su Mo was very happy. It was really lively on the way back. Xiaoqing I didn't play Truth or Dare last night, but she insisted on playing it on the way. Without responding, Xiaoqing I kept chattering on the walkie-talkie. Su Yuan got angry, so he grabbed the walkie-talkie and said he was playing. Then Chen Shen started to pretend to be asleep all the way. "Well, you guys go in first, the director said he has something to do with me." Chen Shen waved his hand and walked towards Zhao Chunsheng. Xiaoqing shouted directly over there, "Director, do you have anything to do with Chen Shen?" Zhao Chunsheng looked over, "Huh? Oh, yes, I have something to do with him." Xiaoqing I then gave up and walked into the villa carrying the box. Chen Shen gave Zhao Chunsheng a thumbs up where no one could see him, and Zhao Chunsheng took Chen Shen's arm and walked out. Chen Shen turned around a few times but didn't turn away. Where are you taking me? Zhao Chunsheng smiled and said, I really have something to do with you. The two entered the villa next door, with the courtyard next to the courtyard. Chen Shen looked at it and found that the layout was similar to the one recorded, but there were some differences in decoration. Zhao Chunsheng poured a glass of water for Chen Shen and said with a smile, the confession session will be recorded probably next Thursday. In the last few days, don't let it slip. Chen Shen shrugged, is that villa for sale? Which set did you record? It seems to be for sale, otherwise how could it be possible for us to go through such trouble? Do you want to buy it? Chen Shen thought for a while, and then asked, where is this set? Are you selling it too? Zhao Chunsheng gave Chen Shen a strange look, it's not like this set can't be sold. What do you want to do? Chen Shen glared, you won't say this is yours, right? Zhao Chunsheng smiled and felt a little complacent, after more than 10 years of hard work, you still can't buy a decent house. This is a rich family. Don't pretend to be poor. Will Chen Ruxie's young master have no money? Chen Shen leaned on the sofa. He really had no money. He had been a trainee in Yanjing for 2 years and his monthly living allowance was 4,500 yuan. In a place like Yanjing, what could 4,500 yuan do? If Chen Qinyu hadn't helped him from time to time, Chen Shen would have starved to death. Maybe this is the embarrassment of the second generation of rich people. When they were studying, they could still ask for money from their families, but after graduation, they had the nerve to ask their families for money. Chen Shen calculated that he only had tens of thousands of dollars in his card. He looked at Zhao Chunsheng and said, Director Zhao, don't tell me that you haven't finished the business yet, right? Zhao Chunsheng smiled sheepishly, that's what I'm talking to you about. Starting from tomorrow, you and Qingyi may be asked to cooperate on some business deals. Do you have money? Zhao Chunsheng nodded, yes, I will give it to you at the end. What about the rest? The advertisements this time are not small. The advertisers basically asked you and Qingyi to shoot. They think the audience's attention should be mostly on you two actors. I have also thought about it. This is better. It's better. Be more pure, don't worry, I will pay everyone in the end. Chen Shen nodded, took off his shoes, and lay half on the sofa. Seeing Zhao Chunsheng's confusion, Chen Shen said, understand, I will go back later. Zhao Chunsheng smiled and went upstairs. He was also busy. Starting tomorrow, he would record the observation room session. Chen Shen looked at the ceiling, thinking about the finishing touches. He felt that he was not cowardly, but that he had not made arrangements yet. Xia Qingyi clearly felt something was wrong and started to test everything. Although Mian didn't speak, she could see Mian's eyes as long as she looked back through the rear-view mirror. Su Yuan had to be even more careful, and he had to stab her on Thursday. Sister Mo doesn't seem to care about herself anymore. She used to help herself out, but now she doesn't care about herself at all. After thinking about it, I fell asleep. In a daze, someone pulled me. When I opened my eyes, the tall cameraman stood in front of me, holding a box of lunch in his hand. Here. Chen Shen stood up and took it. De Qi sat down next to Chen Shen. I think, liking someone should transcend everything. If you think about it, just being together, regardless of the rules, is what we call love. When you are young, you have to never look back. Chen Shen glanced at De Qi several times, and then started to lower his head to eat. What the hell do you know, why are you filming an idol drama next door? After a meal, the sky began to darken, and Chen Shen left. Looking at Chen Shen's leaving figure, De Qi sighed repeatedly. He really started to take drugs. He really wanted to say, please be together, but it was a bit pretentious. People from their program group discussed it privately, and it didn't mean that Xiaoqing Ai was the only one who couldn't afford to lose. Many people in Xiaoqing Ai didn't want her to lose. Yuan Media, the program team, and even the advertisers, some of whom came because of Xiaoqing Ai's fame, all asked the director not to let Xiaoqing Ai lose. From the perspective of some emotional staff members on the program team, Su Yuan seems a bit pitiful. Who in this industry would care about a girl with no background? No one seems to care whether Su Yuan loses or not. Chen Shen entered the room and was stunned for a moment. They were all in the living room, and there were many people there. Zhong Wenbei immediately shouted, "Brother Shen, come on, let's play cards." Su Yuan stood up immediately and asked with a smile, "Have you eaten?" Chen Shen walked over, "I've eaten." Xiaoqing Ai smiled, as if to say, "Hide, try hiding again?" Chen Shen was about to sit down. Xiaoqing Ai smiled and said, "I'm tired of playing, why don't we change to something else to play?" Chen Shen looked over. Xiaoqing Ai deliberately turned his head away from Chen Shen. Xiaoqing Ai was already feeling unhappy. He wrote a song for Su Mo, and comforted Su Yuan the next day. What about himself? Isn't Xiaoqing Ai's sincerity sincere? And Chen Shen could have slowly distanced himself from Su Yuan by writing songs, but he coaxed Su Yuan back. "I'm just unhappy, I just want to make trouble." Chen Shen sighed, but also sat down, looking ready to die. Fang Ye coughed twice. "We have been playing for more than an hour, why don't we chat?" Xiaoqing Ai came over. "Then you take a rest, we will play." Zhong Wenbei took a breath. "Brother Shen, do you have cold medicine? I suddenly feel a little dizzy, lend me some medicine first." Chen Shen was about to get up, and saw that Xiaoqing Ai looked a little strange, so he sat back. "It's on the table, go get it yourself." Zhong Wenbei was stunned. Is he going to resist again? Chen Shen looked at Xiaoqing Ai and took the initiative to say, "Truth or dare?" Xiaoqing Ai snorted, but got up. "You guys play by yourselves, I'm going to rest." Several boys looked at each other. Women are really complicated, they are not happy if they don't play, and they are not happy if they play with you. "I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me?" Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 131. Chen Shen looked complicated, but he understood Xiaoqing Ai's point. The taste changed, and everyone started cheering to save the situation. It seemed that Xiaoqing Ai was unreasonable, and the atmosphere made it seem as if Xiaoqing Ai and himself were opposites. This is not what Xiaoqing Ai wants to see. It is strange that she can play it. As soon as Xiaoqing left, Chen Shen stood up and sat on the sofa. He took the seat vacated by Xiaoqing and said, "You guys can play cards. I'll sit there for a while." Fang also started dealing cards again. Chen Shen took out his cell phone and started typing. It was a short walk with stops and starts, but there was also a bit of distance. "I don't know if what I'm caressing is a story or a mood. Maybe what you are looking forward to is nothing more than being against time. I saw you again, smiling sweetly in the cool morning light." After checking it, he sent it to Xiaoqing Ai. Upstairs, Xiaoqing Ai was lying on the bed depressed. Her phone vibrated, and she had no desire to pick it up and read it. At this moment, Xiaoqing Ai only felt that feelings were something that shouldn't be touched at all. "I don't have a good career at all and I'm always unhappy. I really want to open Chen Shen's belly to see what he thinks." Turning over, I picked up my phone and read the passage several times, but I didn't understand it. Xiaoqing started typing, "What? I can't understand." After I replied to the message, I started to wonder again, is this the period described? Are you looking forward to seeing you again after this period of time? Chen Shen, if you don't understand, just ask Shen Halen. Xiaoqing was stunned for a moment, and then seemed to realize something. He got up from the bed with a bang, and replied, "Isn't this the lyrics?" Chen Shen, this is another one. I haven't finished it yet. I have already given one to Shen Halen. Xiaoqing pouted, but at this time, he was not angry, but a little arrogant. I didn't ask you for a song. After returning to Chen Shen, Xiaoqing I immediately found Shen Halen's WeChat account and asked directly, Sister Lan, did Chen Shen sing for me? Shen Halen replied quickly, well, didn't he tell you? Xiaoqing I, then did we give money? Shen Halen, no, he wants sales dividends. Xiaoqing was stunned for a moment, then quickly opened Chen Shen's WeChat account. Are you stupid? You want any sales bonus? I'm tired of it. How much can it sell for? While they are optimistic about this show, you can give it to me first if you want to get real money. You won't be able to negotiate a buyout and bonus, aren't you very smart? Chen Shen, Xiaoqing I will never be out of date in my heart. Xiaoqing I was still typing, and when this sentence came out, he felt as if his chest had been pinched, his nose felt sore, and he almost wanted to cry. Xiaoqing I's face became more and more smiling. Actually, feelings are not something that cannot be touched. They are quite interesting and so happy. You idiot, let me teach you. You can not only ask Sister Lan for money, but you can also ask Director Zhao for money. The song I wrote on the mountain yesterday was very nice. This can improve the quality and topicality of the program. The program team, you are the beneficiary. The copyright of the song belongs to you. If Director Zhao doesn't pay, you won't allow him to edit it? Do you understand? Downstairs, Chen Shen suddenly stood up. Oh, why the hell did I ignore this? Already short of money, Zhao Chunsheng didn't take the initiative to express his feelings. How unjust. Several people playing cards looked over, and Chen Shen said, you guys play, I have something to do with the director. Half an hour later, Chen Shen came back humming a song. On the way, Chen Shen started to send another message to Xiaoqing I asked the director and gave him a lot. Xiaoqing I, absolutely. Sister Lan said that Wang Chenxi will come over to be a guest in the observation room. According to Penguin Video's standards, this project is at least S level, so there will be a lot of business. Director Zhao did not pay for this money himself, so whatever if I give you a small share in business, it will be very impressive. You idiot, just find an agent. Chen Shen had just entered the door of the villa and stopped again. Tell me, Sister Mo should also have a share. My song was written from Sister Mo's perspective. Xiaoqing I. Chen Shen, I'm just kidding. I'm not legally illiterate. In this world, what level does 250,000 mean? Xiaoqing I, what in this world? You're not legally illiterate. You can compare it horizontally with the domestic market. It's a lot, it's an S-level work. Director Zhao is okay and didn't cheat you. Chen Shen nodded, that was similar to his previous life. 250,000 is not a small amount for Chen Shen now. It's not in vain that I spent more than half an hour with Zhao Chunsheng. I'm stingy and don't want to give it. Although you are very kind to me, I still want to ask you, where did Sister Mo explain it, and where are Mian and Yuan? What are you going to do? News from Xiaoqing I came again. Chen Shen replied, Mian doesn't need to explain. She and I are good friends now, and she is not the kind of person who needs attention. The lower the profile, the better. As for Yuan, hey, he is the only one I have cheated on. Girl, what do you want to do? This time, Xiaoqing waited for a while before replying, I'm sorry. It's not that I want to make trouble with you, nor that I don't believe you. Anyway, you can't leave holding hands with her, otherwise I will become a big joke. Do you understand? Chen Shen, I know, I asked you to tolerate her, but I feel sorry for her. Xiaoqing I, it's so annoying. It's all Zhao Chunzhen's fault. Why can't we do some normal love variety show? We have to make a living. It's so annoying. I'm so angry. Chen Shen, I also think it's all Zhao Chunzhen's fault. I'm also annoyed to death now. Next door, Zhao Chunsheng sneezed several times in a row, then looked at an assistant director beside him. Go and see if the door is closed. Why do I feel so scared? The assistant director took the intercom and confirmed, whoever is downstairs, close the door. No matter who comes, don't open the door. Zhao Chunsheng sighed, damn, I feel sorry for the guy named Chen. He is blackmailing me. The assistant director continued, he is also miserable. Look, he didn't dare to go back to the villa today. After the show, if Su Yuan and Su Mo knew that Chen Shen was an actor, their life would be even more difficult. Zhao Chunsheng waved his hand, forget it, forget it. You stay here and watch tomorrow. I'm going to the studio to take a look. Assistant director, okay. In the yard, Chen Shen ran into Su Mian and Su Mo. The two seemed to be taking a walk. Chen Shen walked over. This time, Su Mo didn't embarrass Chen Shen. After talking to Su Mian for a few words, she went into the house. Su Mian looked at Chen Shen and pouted slightly. During the whole team building, Chen Shen never played with him once. Su Mian looked at Chen Shen without saying anything. Chen Shen smiled and said, Mian, how about we be neighbors? Su Mian tilted her head, not understanding what Chen Shen said. Didn't you say last time that you wanted to buy a house here? I'll buy one too, this one and the one next to it, one for each of us. Su Mian looked at the villa behind him and the one next to it, and a smile gradually appeared on his face. Don't lie. Chen Shen patted his chest, I have never lied to you, really. Brothers, give me some monthly tickets.